Right. So, good morning, everybody. So, welcome along to our nice stretchy class. So, what we're going to have a go at today, we're going to stretch out the shoulders and the back because they tend to be problem areas for a lot of people, and the hips. And we're going to do some balance work as well, some core stability work. So, if you do need a chair to hold on to, do have one close by. But let's just start off with the back and the shoulders. So if you take the feet to about shoulder width, have a little bend in the knees, squeeze the abdominal muscles in, just relax the arms down, and let's start with a nice big shoulder roll. So we're just going to gently start to ease everything out. Lovely. So just stay there. Just keep that rolling. Good. And again, so nice big stretch. So as I say, we're going to ease out the back and the shoulders. So roll it round. Excellent. That's it. Great big stretch. Then if that feels okay for you, you can try taking your hands to your shoulders, lifting the elbows up and making the moves just a little bit bigger. So you're just increasing that stretch. That's lovely. So keep that going. Keep it rolling round. And again, big stretch out. Wonderful. Then, if that feels okay, you can try lengthening the arms and taking the hands up to the ceiling. So you have a really big stretch there. So lift and reach. So all over stretch today. Fantastic. Keep that going. Big stretch. Lovely. So if you try one more, and then if you bring the hands down to center, relax the shoulders, relax the arms, and a little rotation one way and a rotation the other. So you've just got that stretch from side to side. Or keeping that going, good. And again, rotating it round, so relax your shoulders. Lovely. Just keep that going nice and steady, that nice big stretch out. So try one more on each side here. Good. And then bring it back to center, taking the hands down. One hand at a time, have a big stretch over the head, and then changing sides. So you're lifting up, nice and relaxed in those shoulders. Lift and lower. Lovely. And again, that's it. So just keeping that going. So really stretching everything out. Good. And again, lift and lean, reach up nice and tall. Lovely. So try one more on each side here. Lift up. That's it. Big stretch. And then if you take the hand back behind you, so you look behind, bring it back to center. Look behind. That's it. So you're rotating it round, giving it a really big stretch there. So you're opening out the chest, opening out the shoulders. Good. And again, rotate it round. So try one more on each side here. And then if you bring the hands back to center, stretch it out, take it back, and then changing sides. You're just taking the hands straight out. Good. And again, keep that going. Stretch it. Lovely. Try one more on each side here. And then let's have a side bend. So you stretch out, sinking down, and then changing sides. So taking the fingertips towards the floor, lengthen through the waist and back. Good. And again, that's it. Big stretch. Lovely. So if you try one more on each side here, last one. Then if you bring the hands down, lift up to the ceiling, have a great big stretch, and then bring it down again. And then nice and slowly lift and bring it down. So you're just getting a stretch in your back and in your shoulders. Good, so relax. As you lean down, reach up. Lovely. So try two more here. Lift. Bring it down, last one, and then bring it down, coming up to standing. You take the hands on the hips and have a little bit of a hip circle. So you're rotating round, You're stretching out through the waist and through the back. Good. So keeping that going, that big stretch, so side to side, lovely. And then if you change direction, so take it the other way, give it a nice big stretch out. So rotating round, perfect. Keeping that nice stretch going. Then if you bring it to center, we're going to stay with the hips, have a little push one way and a little push the other. So you've just got that stretch from side to side. So the shoulders stay up, the shoulders stay level, but it's just the hips pushing out to the side. Oh, and that gives you a really big stretch down the side of the hips there. Fantastic. Try one more on each side. And then bring it back to center. Now for hips and thighs, a little knee lift. So we're going to lift up. Now if you need to hold on to something, so we're going side to side with the legs. If you do need to hold on to a chair, please do. So we're just starting to warm up the legs, but also starting to work on the balance and on the core. That's it. So just lifting, lifting. So just keep this one going. So the knees coming up just to about hip height. It doesn't need to be too high. Fantastic. So if you try one more on each side there. Lovely. Then we're going to take the legs out to the side. So it's just a slow lift. Bring it back. And then changing sides. Again, if you need to hold on to something, you can have a chair in front of you if you need to and hold on to the chair. Good, so you're squeezing those abdominal muscles in. So lift up nice and tall. And again, lovely. Big stretch, good. So if you try one more on each side here. Now for your lower back, if you bring the feet down, I'll go sideways on. You squeeze one leg behind and then changing sides. You're bracing the abdominal muscles. If you need to hold on to that chair, you can hold on. It's absolutely fine. Good, that's it. So squeeze that leg back. Lovely. And again, so just working on that balance, working on the core. So if you try one more on each side here and bring it back. Then your right foot, if you take that foot forwards and we have a little tap and sweep round. So if you need to hold on to the chair, so we're going to stay on this leg. So it's a tap and circle. So you're lifting up nice and tall. And again, that's it. Tap and circle. Lovely. So keeping this going. So stretching out through the hips and thighs. Lifting up nice and tall. Good. And again, tap and stretch. Then with this same leg, if you hold this leg back behind and you squeeze and lower. So again, if you need to hold on to that chair, you can. So you're lifting up nice and tall and you're just squeezing through the back of that leg. So keeping that going, and the leg you're standing on, that's also working really hard. Fantastic. And again, little lift. So if you try one more, then bring the legs down and just have a little march through. So you're just stretching out through the feet. So giving those feet a nice big stretch. Lovely. So we're going to change legs. So if you bring your feet down, other foot comes forwards and just tap and circle it round. So you're opening out this hip here and you're working on your balance and your posture as well. So think of keeping up nice and tall. Good. Tap and circle. That's it. Tap and circle. Good. Rotate it round. And again, tap, stretch. Keeping that going. Tap and round. Nice squeeze in the abs. So if you try a couple more here, tap and circle. Then if you take that foot behind, if you hold it there, and we lift and lower. So if you need to hold on to your chair, do hold on. That's it. Lift and lower. So you've got a great big squeeze there. Lovely. And again, lift it, lift it. So just drawing in those abdominal muscles. Good. And again, lift. If you try one more, and then bring it back down, and then a little stretch through the feet. That's lovely. So for your back, let's give the back a little bit of a stretch. If you bring your feet down, if you take your hands onto your thighs, just relax the shoulders, just coming down to the knees, just with a small roll down, and then a lift up nice and tall, and then bring it down again. So it's just nice and slow, nice and steady. So we're just gently starting to ease out that back, so it doesn't need to come too far down. Good. That's lovely. Bring it down, nice big stretch. Lovely. So if you try 2 more there, so just giving that back a big stretch out. Try 1 more time. And then coming back up. Let's stay with that back. If you pull your hands back, drop the head. Have a great big back and shoulder stretch. So really reach there, big stretch. Then if you take your arms back, lift up and open the chest. So you've got a big stretch out. And then drop it down. So take the hands forwards, have a big stretch there. Then take the hands back and open the chest out. Good. Try 1 more time. So drop it down. Really big stretch. And then taking it back. Open the chest. Hold it there. And then bring it down. And have a little bit of a shoulder roll. Well done. So give everything a little bit of a shake out. So that was a little bit of a warm up. Do have a drink if you need one. So do grab some water. And we're going to start off with your shoulders. So we'll give those shoulders a really good squeeze. So what we do is if you come up nice and tall, I'm going to go sideways on. If you bring your hands forwards, and if you keep your hands fairly close together, relax the shoulders and squeeze them back and bring them in. Squeeze. So you're just pulling your shoulders back and try to keep those hands fairly close together. So it's squeeze and release. So the shoulders coming back and forward. So you're bringing them back and in. That's it. That's the one. That's looking perfect. Good. So it's just a squeeze and release. So it's back and in. Good. Oh, so that's your shoulder. So you squeeze. So the hands don't move that much, but you're just pulling your shoulders back. So if you imagine that you've got a big sponge between your shoulder blades and you're trying to squeeze that sponge with your shoulders. Oh, good. And again, lovely. Try 1 more and bring it back. Now taking your hands down, let's stretch your back. If you push your chest to the floor, tuck your chin in, curl up through the back, lift up nice and tall, and keep that going. So you push your chest down, you bend your knees, you tuck your chin in, and curl up to standing. So it's going to be really slow. And bring it down. Good. And curl up. Fantastic. So if you try 2 more there, so we're easing out that back. Good. Last one. So bring it down. Tuck the chin in, curl up. Nice big stretch. And roll it round. So staying with the shoulders and the back. If you bring your hands, it's up, stretch, in, and back down. So now we're going to open the arms to stretch the chest. That's it. So it's an up, stretch, out. Lovely. Keeping this going. So it's up, out, in. Try 1 more of these. Up, squeeze. Now relax the arms a little bit for the leg. We're going to come up, out, in, and then change legs. Now if you need to hold on to something, that's absolutely fine. Now let's go back to the arms. So it's up, out, in, and 1 more time with the arms. So it's an up, out, in, and then we go back to the legs. So it's 1, 2, 3. That's it. Go again. Other leg. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to stay with the legs. It's a tap and sweep. Same leg again. Tap and sweep. Change legs. Tap and sweep. That's it. Lovely. Now we go back to the arms. So it's up, out, in. Good. And again. Up, out, in. Now with the legs we're going to come up and kick. So it's up, kick, hold on, and then change legs. Go again. Up, kick. Good. Then a little tap and circle. So it's a tap and circle. Tap. And then changing legs. Tap and circle. Lovely. Now staying with the legs, just a lift and lower. So if you need to hold on to a chair, you can. So little squeeze in the abdominal muscles, just focusing on that balance. Then if you can lift some arms, lift and lower. So it's more of a challenge for your balance, lifting the arms. Do remember, if you need to hold on to the chair with one arm, you can lift the other. Good. So just keep this going. Lift and lower. Lift up. Fantastic. And again, stretch. Try one more here. Then taking the hands down, and we come out to the side. So it's nice and slow, nice and steady. And again, that's it. Lift. So working on that balance. Soon as you start to add the arms, you challenge the core a little bit more. Lift and lower. And again, lovely. One more. Then let's go back to the arms. So the feet stay down here. So it's an up, stretch, back. And again, lovely. Up, stretch. Now we're going to bring that leg up so we come up and kick. So we go up, kick, out, and then changing legs, up, kick. Now staying with the legs, little tap and circle. So we go tap and circle. Same again. Tap, then other leg, tap and sweep. Good. Tap. Then the knee lift, lift and lower. So if you need to hold on to the chair with one hand, please do. Lift up. One more. Then bring it down, coming out to the side, lift and lower. That's it. Nice big stretch. So you're reaching up really tall, so you're working on that posture. Then let's have a little squeeze behind. So we go lift and change legs. Lift. So you're bracing those abdominal muscles, lift and lower. So you're working your lower back. If you need to hold on to something, please do. So if you just want to keep one hand on the chair, that's absolutely fine. Lift up. Try one more. And then bring it down and have a little bit of a shoulder roll. Lovely. Now we are going to do a little bit of work just staying on one leg. So we're going to really work on the balance. If you do need to be holding on to that chair, have that chair on your side. So if you take 1 foot forwards, and have a really big stretch down the front of this leg, and we're going to lift and lower. So it's a lift and lower. So you lift up, or so you're working those big quad muscles down the front of the leg. That's it. Lift. So staying on this leg. Then if you hold this leg on the floor, and if we go sweep and sweep, so it's side to side. So it's like you're drawing a little half circle with your foot. That's it. So you tap and tap. Lovely. And again, so keep lifting up nice and tall. So sweeping it round, staying on this leg. Good. Tap. Then if you bring the leg back to center, and we sweep forwards and back. So it's forwards. I'll go sideways on. Forwards and back. So you're just stretching through your hip. And you're working on that balance. This leg you're standing on, that's working really hard. Or sweep and back. Fantastic. Big stretch. And then bring that leg down and just have a little march through. Lovely. So you've really worked through that hip joint and you've worked on the balance. So we need to change legs now. So if you're using a chair, if you take the chair to the other side, lifting up nice and tall, taking that foot forwards, and we just lift and lower. So you're getting that big stretch down the front of the leg, and you're working on that posture all the time. So you lift and lower. Lovely. Lift up. Oh, great big stretch. Go again, go again. Lift. That's it. Lift. Try a couple more here. Lift up. Last one. Then bring that foot forwards and we sweep side to side. So you're opening out that hip joint. Good. And again, sweep and tap. So lifting up really tall. Let's keep this one going. Sweep and tap. Lovely. So side to side. Good. And again for 4 and back. That's it. 3. Try 2 more here. Last one. Then if you bring it back, that same leg, if we sweep it forwards and back. Oh, so it doesn't need to be fast. You're just getting that big stretch. So holding on to that chair if you need to. So it's a forwards and back. Stretch. Go again, stretch. So think of lifting up as tall as you can. If you're up nice and tall, it will help with your balance. Lovely, that's it, stretch. So a couple more here. Last one, and bring it down. Then a little march there. And we're just gonna have a big stretch for your back now. So back and the glutes. So if you're using a chair, if you bring your feet down, if you turn around and face your chair, we're going to have a go at lifting opposite hand to leg. So you're still up nice and tall. You slide one leg back, you lift the opposite arm, have a really big stretch, and then changing sides. So it's a lift and lower. If you're not using the chair, it's exactly the same thing. You're just stretching the arm and stretching the leg. So you're taking your hands to the ceiling and you're taking that foot up behind you. So lift and lower. Good. Squeezing those abdominal muscles. Oh, lift. And again, that's it. Stretch it, stretch it. Lovely. So keeping that up, lengthen through the back. That's looking absolutely brilliant. Good, lift. So try one more here. And then bring it back. If you're holding on to the chair, if you walk it back and lengthen and have a really big stretch. So you're just taking your hands in front of you. Just hold it there with that big stretch. Then if you walk it in, come on up nice and tall. So lift up really tall and then try another stretch. So you walk back, you take the hands forward, so hold it there and really stretching out. Lovely. Then nice and slowly, you bring the hands in, just curl it back up to standing and relax through the shoulders. Have a big shoulder roll. So staying with backs and shoulders, if you pull the hands back, you sweep it forwards and then sweep it back. So you're lengthening the back and the shoulders, you're opening out the chest. Awesome, waking everything up, waking up all those muscles, all the joints. Good, give it up. Big stretch. And again, try 2 more. Lovely, last one. And then take the arms open, hold it there with that big stretch. And from here, just rotate it round. So you're resting your shoulders, rotate it round there, big stretch. Lovely. And again, keeping that going. And then bringing the arms down. Just relax the shoulders and just have a nice stretch there from side to side. Lovely, so it's your lower back. So staying with that lower back and the waist. If you bring the hands back to center, if you bend the knees, take one hand on the thigh, lift up to the ceiling, and just lean. So you're getting a big stretch down the side. So hold it there with that stretch. Fantastic. Then bring it back to center, other way. Lift and lean. So have a really big stretch there. Great big stretch. Then bring it back to center. You take your hands together, take a breath in, and as you exhale, drop the head and have a really big back and shoulder stretch there. So great big stretch. Then if you take your hands back and open the chest, and really stretch there. Then bringing the arms down, have a little roll. If you bring the feet in slightly, then sink down, lift up to the ceiling, and have a really big stretch up there. So stretch everything, reach. And then one more time, bring it back down. Lift up, great big stretch, reach out, big stretch. And then bring one hand down, bring the other hand down, and give yourselves a really big clap. Well done everyone. Well, very much for joining me today.